Hi, it's Rahim. Calm Finance, no hype. Today's episode 4 of our series. Episode 4 today's title is The Cost of Looking Stable. If you are new to the series, we discuss about the second order effects that happens when you achieve high income in Canada or any other Western countries. For our series, high income is someone earning from 75k to 150k plus. That's our range that we look for in our high income individuals that are on the way up to become high net worth individuals. And this particular episode describes specific scenario that is faced by everybody when they are on the way up or they are almost there. If you want to stay and find out what that is, I welcome you to join. And so, without further ado, let's start the process. First, we have 4 parameters that we discuss every week. They discuss the different parameters, different topics that needs to be done, and we help to identify the issues with each of them. First one is identity. Professional, reliable, and stable. This is a core architect of a high net worth individual specifically. Correct? They are professional, they are stable, everything is going well in their life. Correct? The problem with this is it starts to make them an identity. They think this is the identity that they are now a part of and they can't walk away from, which leads to one issue happening, which is called the fear shifting. Second grid is decisions. Long lease, safe job, predictable path. If you're aware of all this, once you have a stable income, you start to make all these choices we talked about in a very similar random way, right? And may think, why not? Because we deserve it, correct? We start to think as high income individuals that we work so hard that we need to get all these benefits from our life. One of the problems with high net worth individuals is they don't spend things to impress others. No. They spend things or money specifically to look stable. And all of these signals stability. So now they are in this cycle of they want to appear stable rather than appearing unstable or they have not made it. That caused them to make all the decisions. What happens when they make all the decisions? We go to the third quadrant, which is pressure. Reputation risk, fear of regression, social comparison. It's pretty obvious. Once your reputation is attached to your identity is attached to your decisions, now you are in the cycle of continuous maintaining appearances. That is where most high net worth individuals fail. They build identity around being stable. They build identity around we can't go back, fear of regression, and social comparison with other peers. That is what causes them to end or enter our second order risk that happens with, unfortunately, most of the high income earners. Now, what are those risks? Let's find out together. Overcommitments. Optionality, as you might have guessed, going down. Silent stress building up. As we know, once you committed to all of those things that we talked about, long lease, fancy cars, better stable careers, predictable route, you just increased your fixed expenses. That means you already end up increasing the one thing that you thought you never going to, which is getting rid of flexibility. So your optionality has gone down because now you can't move as easily as you were before you entered this range of 75 to 150k, correct? Now you can't job hop easily to go from the one level to the next, from the one level to the next, because you are stuck in this particular role, because you have built an identity around it, you have built a lifestyle around it. And so for all of these reasons, you are now stuck in a loop where it goes one point to another, leading to optionality going down and your silent stress is going up. If this appears or this thinks or you seem this looks like normal for you or anybody listening to it, let me assure you, it is a very common scenario that happens with all high net worth individuals. So now you're thinking, how do I avoid this, or how do I navigate it better? Correct? In this channel, we just don't tell you what the second order risk is, but we try to find ways to avoid this or correct it if you're already here. Let's find out 3 things we can do together to avoid this if you're not here, or to correct it if you're already there. First one major area of lifestyle flexible. This means keep one area of a major lifestyle. That might be food, that might be a car, that might be a home, that might be anything which is fixed. Keep it flexible, because if everything is fixed or rigid, you are more fragile. That means if you lose a job, you are done. Correct? If you are in an apartment or a house that you can't afford, all you need is one job loss or layoff. And let's be honest, if you are in Canada or any Western countries, you already know AI is taking most of the jobs, is going to take most of the jobs. So if you have yourself fixed or rigid in that way, you're already fragile with just one of the incident happening, especially to you, high net worth individuals. So be aware of this. Keep one lifestyle of your life variable and not fixed. Choose for yourself what you want to do it, and then make it flexible so you can adjust accordingly. Correct? Important thing for high net worth individuals is to be able to adjust when situation changes. That is your superpower. Second point, redefine stability. As our last point, redefine stability means you're able to adjust. You're able to move around to things that is unfamiliar, like how you were before you entered this zone, so you can properly avoid the financial chaos or leverage that happens when you earn high income individuals. How many people do you know earn around like 200k or 300k, but they tell you they're living paycheck to paycheck, right? It's very common scenario, because what they have done is they have not spent money out lavishly like we all think, getting a brand luxury car, getting jewelry, getting all things. They have just signaling stability. The problem is when you signal stability, you have to maintain it appearance wise. That is where each high net worth individuals get caught in the leverage of our financial system, especially in Canada, where you're trying to appear rich, or trying to appear, in our case, stable, not even rich, stable. But the appearance is costing us more than what you're willing to give. Third point, run a regression test. What does this mean? This means run a simulation, like how you can run a simulation on a credit score. Like if you add some more credit, what will happen? If you don't pay a credit card, what happens? Do that in your life. If your income drops by 20%, and that is not uncommon, it is very uncommon for people that are in high net worth range, because layoff happens, or you need to move, or company does something which you don't agree with, you leave the job, you find a better other job which is not the same salary, so now you're taking a drop. Very common. So then the question you need to ask, if the income drops happen, does everything falls down into pieces? Is it built on house of cards which collapse the minute this happens? If you answer this question yes right away, this means you are into the cycle now. So you need to find a way to get rid of the cycle or correct it. So that means maybe you don't go out to eat every week. Maybe you don't get a new car upgrade. Maybe you sell the car that you currently have, pay whatever it is, and buy a used car with cash. Or move to a different apartment, or sharing places if it's possible. I know these are all tough choices to make, especially when you have high net worth individuals. But remember, that is where they catch you in financial system in Canada, or any Western countries specifically. But this channel is about Canada, so we're talking directly about this, because the minute you know your income goes up, taxes go out as well, and now you want to appear stability or signal stability. So that is where you get caught in this, and that's where everything starts breaking down. My final thoughts for you, all of you that are listening, that have made it so far. High income earners don't spend or react aggressively or irrationally. That is not them. But they do end up giving up flexibility to appear or to signal stability for others. That is their kryptonite. If you are one of those people and you have seen this video, you now know the reasons for it. You now know what you need to be done. You have your marching orders. Try this and let us know what you feel and what you think. If it works for you or doesn't work for you. That's it for our video today. Next week, another episode is coming. If you want to know, you know what to do. Like the channel, subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you think about it in comment section. And as always, be calm, be cool. And this is Rahim, Calm Finance, No Hype, signing out. Thank you.